and welcome back, America, to another episode of American Issues. I'm the Iron Man, Tyson Johnson. I'm here with Devin, Danny, Bird, and of course, the United States Marine, Jeff. And we're here and we're talking about some of the issues that are plaguing our great country here today. I'd like to remind each and every one of you to get this book, American Issues, Book 1. You can get it at Amazon.com or buybooksontheweb.com. At this time, we'd like to start off. Jeff, I want to talk to you. You're a United States Marine. You are active right now. And I want to talk to you about ISIS and the attacks that happened this last weekend in Paris. What are your thoughts?
I have a really personal thoughts in regards to it, but a bunch of my buddies got killed during the Iraqi freedom and enduring freedom, and hearing that it really touched my heart because all that happening, and here we are still at that ongoing issue. It just makes me want to go back and do my duty again.
So it's really personal for you. It really touches your heart. I mean, you've lost friends and family.
Correct.
That sucks. And Bird, I know you're pissed off. I know that you've taken this personally yourself.
Yeah, I'm more old school, you know. Like, I did all my reading in the histories, and I've seen how we didn't cut off borders and maintained ourselves as the United States, and did what we needed to do. Mm-hmm. So I think that we should grab the opportunity to be United States, be the USA like we want it to be. Like, come out, have your dreams, have your freedom, but also still be us, because it seems like we're transforming into to please other countries and other things. Like, we the USA, you came here to have freedom, and now it's like it's too free because people are freely coming in and doing all this destruction. Let's lock some things up. Worry about the Americans that's in America. Quit going outside helping other people when we need help here.
So you're saying America first?
Yes.
That's one of the chapters in my book, American Issues. America first, ladies and gentlemen. Danny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I do think that's correct, but I do really strongly believe in helping our friends across the border, especially when they're our allies. Like what happened in Paris, I feel like as America, we need to be the first on the front lines, right behind their back, ready to take the lead against this ISIS terror attack, because that's what it is. I think they attacked Paris, and in a way, they're our ally, they're attacking us. I think we should be right behind them, full force. I know Paris had led some attacks on ISIS. I think we should be right behind them, doing that with them.
Devin?
Well, I agree with Danny. I agree that we should be taking a lot more action than I feel we are. I feel we aren't, and we're kind of standing by because of all the vested interests we have with certain groups over there. We don't want to offend them and have it backlash on us, or we don't want to lose this money source or that money source. We need to be America, the one that separated from the British and made our own thing.
So we're all in agreement that we need to actually be more physically active in a situation like this with ISIS?
Yes. We seem like we're losing the edge, like that strength that we had a long time ago, because they made us the pillar of everything. Like, USA fan off to everybody. Everybody knew about it. Everybody came to us. So now it's like we're losing a weakness and giving our vulnerability up to them. Like, they're seeing our weakness and being able to come through and dissect and do each and everything. So we shouldn't give them that privilege of coming in and just bogarting us, dude. It's just, we should be stronger.
I agree.
Stronger.
Now, France, the very next day, launched an attack. They bombed ISIS. Anybody disagree with what they did? You think an immediate attack was wrong?
No.
Negative.
Absolutely not. I think we're all in agreement there. And that's exactly what America and every other country that gets hassled or bombed or terrorized by these terrorists, these idiots, these cowards. And I think we all should make an immediate reaction and respond with aggressiveness.
They're going off our weakness. Well, what happens in the USA? If something happened, they blow something up, they catch somebody, they try to rehabilitate them. Oh, we're gonna help you. Then they give them citizenship into the USA, and give them all this different stuff to please them. And then what happens? We end up getting shafted again, and then we on the bottom again. Like, ain't nobody scared of us really no more. Like, they're trying to dissect us.
Why would they be afraid of us when all we want to do is we want to, like you said, we want to give them everything. Let's rehabilitate. Let's make friends and bring you into our country.
Exactly.
But we're bringing a snake into the chicken house.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Exactly.
America's getting a little weak, and some of the things that they're doing, they need to be more aggressive.
Exactly.
And is that leadership or what? I mean, where's that coming from?
Money.
Money's a big factor.
I'm just saying money.
Factor. I think it's a lot to do with leadership. All right, you don't stand your ground. people will be walking all over us.
Absolutely.
With the refugees coming in, since that France, they already had that refugee coming inside France. Look what happened.
Those refugees are a Trojan horse.
Yes.
That's exactly what that is. And that's what we're going to talk about here in a minute. But how do we deal with these radicals? Before we get into the Trojan horse and the refugees, because I really have a lot to say about that. If you've watched my Facebook, you saw my huge rant about bringing in these refugees and why that's wrong and why we shouldn't do it. And that all states here in the United States, and I'm kind of getting into it now, should deny access of any refugees into this country or into their state. Texas has already done it. A few other states have already done it. California needs to do it, and every other state in the union needs to do it. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let's talk about dealing with the radicals. How would you deal with the radicals, Danny?
To deal with the radicals, honestly, if I was President Obama, I would release our boys. I mean, I would let the Marines...
Boots on the ground?
Yes. I mean, after 9/11, what rallied us as a country is us going to war. And we needed to do what was done because they attacked the greatest country on earth. And I feel that if we don't do something now, what happened in Paris is going to happen here.
Absolutely. Well, you're a Marine, so if we go boots on the ground, you, your friends, you're on your way over there.
Well,
do you agree with that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Coach, history repeats itself. You know, right now, what we have to do is heighten security first. You know, within America First, like what Bert
Close
said.
up our borders, right?
Let's close up our borders.
Okay.
And then from there, once we set up our defenses, we go out. All right. And when everything starts hitting towards, we have some defense. We can't win a fight without any defense.
Absolutely.
We can't always keep going and pushing.
So a strong foundation first, and then we go out and we do what we have to do?
Yes.
Weed out the infection.
Absolutely. Devin?
I believe a long time ago the Orientals had it right, yin yang. If they've treated us horribly, killed our people, why should we repay you with welcome?
Open arms, I get it. Yeah.
I will give you the same treatment you give me.
Yeah.
If you're a friend, I'll help you, I'll feed you. If you're an enemy, don't expect any kindness.
No kindness. And I think that's the problem with a lot of what America's doing too, is our kindness to our enemies.
Exactly.
Are you going to be kind to somebody who wants to chop off the heads of our American citizens? Okay, or of any person in the world that's not in agreement with what they believe in.
Exactly.
Okay, so how are you nice to that? I think we treat them as they treat us.
Exactly.
Okay. President Obama and the Syrian refugees, they want to bring 100,000 of those people, and we started talking about it just a few minutes ago, 100,000 of those people into our country. What are your thoughts on that? Let's start with you, Danny.
My thoughts on that are, what are we thinking? I mean, what we've learned from past experiences, that's not good for a country. I mean, I don't want to be rude to these refugees, but this is America, and I feel you need to be an American citizen to be here. They shouldn't be mooching off our systems. As the United States of America, our government should not be giving the handouts they are. I mean, the record shows, I mean, there's a record high of welfare system, and it's just intolerable. I think we're going to get in a deeper debt. The deficit is at a record high, and it's just going to get worse for America.
You probably can't see it very well, but this is my rant. It's a long one-page rant, and it talks about just that. And I don't care whether we're going to be rude to these refugees or not. Because you know what? I can find 100,000 misplaced Americans, veterans, and families that are out there in the streets. Tonight it's 30 degrees. And guess what? They're sleeping in the streets, and they're sleeping in boxes. And I would rather see 100,000 of American citizens be put up and fed and housed and everything, instead of 100,000 refugees that don't belong here.
100% agree.
Get me, I mean, there are veterans out there, people like Jeff here who have served our country and put their lives on the line for us. So we can sit here and make this show. And instead, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take all that money that we have. Apparently, we have a lot of money available. And instead of taking care of our own citizens, our own American citizens, our own children, we're going to go give it to a bunch of foreigners. How are you a good country if you're going to ignore your own people and step over them to go feed somebody else, to house somebody else, to give medical aid to somebody else? How can that not piss you off, America? Because it does me.
Exactly.
Devin?
I think we need to get the people who have done something for this country settled first, like what you're saying, feed our veterans and things like that. And then I believe adjustments are possible in minute amounts. quotas per year or per decade or whatever. We can allow people in if we're able to handle it and our people are set.
Once we have a strong foundation inside, once our own people are taken care of, I have no problem with reaching out. But that's after every American has a home or a place to live. They have food. They're not sleeping in boxes. It's 30 degrees outside tonight. I tell you what, it's cold in here. I would hate to be out there.
You're not going to fix like your neighbor house before you fix your house.
Absolutely.
You need to fix your house first, then you can pan out and start to help people.
Because what happens if your house falls apart?
Exactly. You sitting over here helping them, then as you helping them, your whole house foundation is falling apart.
Well, let's be real. Our house is falling apart.
Exactly.
It is falling apart. That's why I wrote this book, American Issues. That's why we have this show, American Issues, because there are issues. And if we can't fix our own issues, how are we going to go out there and police and fix everyone else's issues?
Exactly.
And what right do we have to do that? Why don't you fix your own home first? What is that Bible saying about having a stick in your eye? Or
Right.
Yeah, what is it?
I'm not remembering.
All right, you remember. Anyway, it's about talking about people. How can you say something about one person when you have your own issues? Basically, that's what it is. Well, the same thing with our country and the issues here.
Right.
How can we go and fix someone else's issues? How can we take in 100,000 of somebody else's citizens? Don't they have their own people to take care of them? Well, we have more than 100,000 of our own people that are needing that aid. Let's give them the money. Let's feed them. Let's give them the medical attention.
I mean, veterans that we have out on the street that
Absolutely.
needs help and not getting it from our country that they fought for, but we're gonna sit off and give people money, driver's license, houses, and
Absolutely.
and be like, here, welcome, feed off us, lynch off us. You know what I'm saying? And then as they're doing that, they're weaving through our country, eating it up, eating it alive. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? It makes no sense how we bring in the virus. We bring in the virus, and
Exactly.
it eats from the inside out. It makes no sense. You should be able to see that as a state that we're doing wrong. Like, as the president, you should see that we're doing wrong. All those measurements that you're taking ain't helping us at all. So at that point, as a man, you should be like, oh man, I messed up my house. I need to get my house in order.
Absolutely.
Before you start running out your house trying to help the neighbor or helping somebody down the street. Your house is wide open while you running out trying to help everybody else. Stay at your home. That's your family.
It doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make our country a better country, and it doesn't make our government a better government to go out there and help somebody else. You don't look good because someone's going to say, wait a minute, you're going to go in and you're going to help them, you're going to fix them, you're going to feed them, but you can't even take care of your own house.
Exactly.
If I can't even keep my own car clean, how am I going to go and clean somebody else's car?
Exactly.
Because you're probably going to clean it the same way, and it's going to be like shit. And that's exactly what it's going to be.
You're going to take your neighbor trash out before you take your trash out?
Thank you very much.
Your wife will kick your butt.
One thing I said in my rant as I asked this, and let me ask you, America, this question, and I'll ask you guys this. Are you going to go out there and are you going to feed someone else's children for a month, maybe 2 months, 6 months, and not feed your own? I know you got 5 kids. Would you go out there and feed someone else's kids and then let your kids starve at home?
That would never happen. I wouldn't even be a man if I actually did that. It would be a shadow over me. It's like you feel bad for helping, but you have your kids right there that's home. That's
Your
man
kids
law.
are your
That's
kids are at
man
home
law.
starving while you're out there
Exactly.
feeding other
That's
kids.
man
Well, here,
law.
have this. John?
Oh, definitely. I agree with what Bert had to say. I have no kids yet, but I can't take care of my wife unless I can't take care of myself.
Thank you. Well, we can use
Married.
wives, we can use brothers, sisters, we can use whatever. Friends, best friends, or whatever.
Yeah.
Would I go and feed some stranger before I'd feed my best friend that I knew was starving? Or my sister, brother, or anybody like that? I mean, you can use anybody, wives or husbands. The answer is no, America. We wouldn't. Because you know what? Family first, America first.
Exactly.
Anything else in closing?
No, same thing. I defend my brother with my life. We don't get along all the time, but I defend him before I
Still family.
go
Still your
out.
brother.
Still family. Still blood.
Absolutely. In America, we are all family. We are all blood. Okay, and those 100,000 refugees are going to come into our country and steal up and take up all the resources that should be given to our own people, veterans and families that are out there in the streets tonight. Shame on you if you think that's the right thing to do. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for being here on American Issues. Jeff, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for
Likewise.
serving our country.
Please.
We appreciate everything that you do, and we always wish you the best.
Exactly.
And Bert, great having you. Good seeing you here.
Good to be here. Good to be here. I like
Thanks,
talking.
Don. Danny, got some good things to say.
Pleasure.
My pleasure. And Devin, Also, great things. I'm glad you were here. Glad you had something to say.
Absolutely.
All right. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this has been American Issues. Don't forget to take a look at our next episode coming soon. You can take a look at us on YouTube and, of course, Facebook. We'll also be on the web coming up soon. We'll see you next time here on American Issues.